Let's solve homework exercise number 15 from section 3.3. It states, refer to the following statement to answer parts A through C. Write the statement in symbolic form. Assign simple statements that are not negated, okay? So I dress quickly or take the express train, or I do not get to work on time. So P is I dress quickly, Q is I take the express train, and R is I get to work on time, okay? So that P is dress quickly, okay? Q will be the same, this statement here, take the express train, and then actually R is going to be with that are not negated, so R is going to be you get to work on time, okay? Because it says the statements are not negated. So P, dress quickly, Q is take the express train, and R is work on time. Now, okay, what do we have here? I dress quickly, right, which is P, or I take the express train, which we said is Q. The comma is right there, so these are grouped together. So you put a parenthesis around it, and then another or, so another disjunction, or I do not get to work on time. Remember, R is at work on time, so there's a not there, so it would be not R. So again, the one we need would be P or Q or not R, and it would be either this one or this one, right? Okay, now, but this one is wrong because R is not I do not get to work on time. It is I do get to work on time. So then not would be the negation of R. So there's the one that matches, and also P, Q, and R are correct. So choice B is definitely the correct answer. Okay, now we need to go ahead and complete the truth table. We have P, Q, and all three are true. So P or Q, we go here, true or true would be a true statement. Negation of R, notice R is true, so negation of R is false. And now this statement is what? We're taking column number 4, which is P or Q, we found out to be is true in this case, or the negation of R, which is false, and a true or false with an or. If one's true, then it is true, so it is a true statement. So going ahead, doing logical set operations, doing this first, the P or Q, second the not R, and then combining the rows 4 and 5 with an or statement, we get our answer column, or our last column. True, false, true, true, false, true, true, false, true, true, false, true. True, false, true. Okay, next row, P or Q, notice P or Q, both of them are true, right? So true or true is a true statement. Negation of R is now false, right? So the negation of false is true. So we have this statement is true, or negation of R is true, true or true is true. All right, so doing our order of logical operations, one step at a time, one column at a time, we get our answers. Okay, now we start out with P true, Q false, and R true. So P or Q, true or false is still a true, right? An or statement with one true. Negation of R, it's true, so negation of R is false. So now here we have what? Column number 4 is a true. Column number 5, negation of R is a false. True or false is actually a true statement, right? An or statement with at least one true is true. True, false, true, true, false, true, true, false, true, false, true. Column, row number 4, P is Q, P is true, Q is false, R is false. P or Q, true or false is still a true. Negation of R is false, so negation of R is true. So then this P or Q we just found out is true. Negation of R is true. A true or true is a true statement. All right? So there's our answers for row number 4. All right, column number 5 again. When there's 3 different statements, we're going to have 8. So we're getting there. We're more than halfway done. P or Q is false or true, which is a true statement. Negation of R is true, so negation of R is false. When we take the P or Q, we found is true, or negation of R is false. False or true is actually, again, a true statement because an or statement is true and one is true. Okay? So we've got our answers true, false, true for this 5th column. True, false, true. All right, now we have row 6. We have false, true for P, Q, and R. So P or Q right here, false or true, again, is a true statement, right? Negation of R is a false here, so this is true. So both of these are true from columns 4 and 5, and an or statement with both true is definitely true. So again, working one step at a time, we get our 3 answers. All right, row 7 has false, false, true for P, Q, and R respectively. So false or false, right? P and Q are both false is actually a what? False statement, right? And then the negation of R is actually a false statement because it's true here, right? Negation of true makes it false from right here, what R is. And now what? This P or Q is right here, we said is false. Or negation of R in this case is false. False or false is actually a false statement, right? When that's the only time when an or statement is false, when both are false. And I think we're finally to the 8th row. All 3 of them are false. So P or Q, false or false, is actually a false statement, right? When both are false. Now in the negation of R, notice R is false, right? So the negation of false is true. So in this case here, P or Q we just found out was a false, right? Or, there's our or. Negation of R we just said is a true. And a false or true is actually a true statement. Again, you got to be careful because you got negations here. Just because all of them are false doesn't mean the last answer will be false. In this case, it is true because we got a false or a true. We got a true from the negation of R because R was false, and now the negation of R is true. All right, so there's our answers for the 8th row. False, true, true. Okay, use a truth table to indicate set of conditions that make the compound statement true or state when it exists. So it's true for what? It's true for a lot. It's true 7 out of 8. The only time it's false is when we have false, false, true. So it's true, okay. So the statement is true, not for all conditions. When P is false, Q is false. The statement is true when P is false, Q is false, and R is true. That's this one right here, but that's actually when it's false. So B is incorrect. There are no conditions for which the statement is true. That's obviously false. The statement is true when P is Q, when P is true, when P is true, Q is true, and R is false. When P is true, Q is true and R is false. Okay, so let's look at this. P and Q is true and R is false. P and Q is true. So when P is true, the statement is true, right? When Q is true, and it's true here. And when R is false, so it's false, it's true. When R is false, it's true. When R is false, it's true. When R is false, it's true. So that one is actually correct. It's true there. So again, when P is Q, Q is true, and R is false, that's when we get the trues for columns 1 through 6 and 8, but not column 7. So that is actually the correct answer. Again, the other three don't make sense because it's not always true, and this one is when it's false, and there are no conditions. There's a bunch of trues, so obviously D's got to be the correct answer by process of elimination. All right, very good. We're going to stop this session here. If you have any questions, send me an email using the inbox in the Canvas course through the FSW portal. This is your instructor, Dr. Swerves. I hope you found these videos helpful. Again, send me an email in the inbox if you still need more help on any of these problems or truth tables. Thank you.